Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for coming back into the hall so that we're ready to start off with our post-networking break session, which is a very interesting panel discussion that is going to involve each and every one of you. Once again, to all of our delegates who are outside the hall, this is our last and final call. For those of you who would like to attend the panel discussion, in fact, we'd like all of you to be in this hall right now. May I also make a request to many of you who perhaps would have been taking calls or keeping your phone or switching it off the silent mode to kindly bring it back onto silent mode so that we can have a non-disrupted session here. Well, it's quite ironic that we encourage disruption for innovation, but disruption is something that we would not like to look forward to, especially for the sessions where our speakers and our panelists will be up here on stage. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time that we proceed headfirst into a very interesting panel discussion. A panel discussion with the title on exploring cutting-edge technology that drives enterprise efficiency. Various points and aspects that will be discussed in this panel are exploring advanced and predictive analytics, upgrading legacy infrastructure to integrating legacy devices, and opportunities for future technologies such as drones, autonomous, AI, and blockchain. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see on stage, we have 6 empty chairs. We're going to have 6 esteemed speakers who are going to join us. And I do request you to please join me in welcoming them up on stage as I introduce them to you. Well, we have amongst us, ladies and gentlemen, from Sangoban, India Private Limited, Mr. Siddhalinga Murthy. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome him up on stage, please. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. We also have amongst us from Amazon, Mr. Madhusudan Shekhar. You've seen him earlier up on stage. Thank you once again for joining us, sir. We also have amongst us from Havells India Limited, Mr. Gaurav Kumar Sinha. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome him up on stage, please. Thank you for joining us, sir. We also have amongst us from Murugappa Limited, Dr. Buddy Simha Chalam. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause and welcome him up on stage, please. And we also have amongst us from Quest, Mr. Balaji Balakrishnan. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome him up on stage, please. And ladies and gentlemen, our moderator, who's now going to take this session forward, from Expertise Technology Solutions, please do join me in welcoming Mr. Sathish Krishnan up on stage. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And with that, we have all our esteemed panelists up on stage. I do request Mr. Sathish Krishnan to kindly take this panel discussion forward.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. How are you? So let us relax a bit and enjoy a good experience of IoT in manufacturing with my panel. And first of all, I'm Sathish from Expertise, around 20 years experience with GE and currently with as a Vice President for Expertise. So we will not talk much about our companies. Okay, so this is, we are talking about technology, we are talking about IoT, how we can support the world. Okay. So before I start, I was just going through some of the metrics of Forbes, and it was saying that IoT is growing from 200 billion to 500 billion by 2020. So that was like, I was amazed. And manufacturing itself is going to have an investment of around 50 billion in IoT by 2020. So nowadays it's not a manufacturing company, it's more of a digitized company. People talk about digitization, etc. in manufacturing. So we have to be proud to be in this session. So the topic for the day. The topic for the day is very interesting, which we all generally talk, which is first on the predictive analytics. So that is, we know that generally we talk, but we have a good experience of people who can give a perspective how they handle in their industries. Then we all talk about legacy infrastructure. So we cannot throw away our old infrastructure. We need to slowly upgrade. Because looking at the ROI, etc. So that is another interesting topic. Then we have new technology, AIs, drones. You have blockchain, etc. Okay. So with this, I welcome my panel, and first of all, thanks everybody for joining me today here, and it's a pleasure to have you here. And you all know Madhusudan is already today morning he had an introduction. Okay. So I like to introduce Mr. Siddhalinga Murthy, the team leader from IoT in IoT at Saint Gobain, and 18 plus years experience in digital manufacturing. Welcome, Mr. Yeah. And we have Mr. Madhusudan. Madhusudan is a principal technical leader, so in Amazon, and we had a lot of introduction this morning. So I am very sure today we'll have a great time with Madhusudan. Okay, so 20 plus years experience, connected industry, etc. There's nothing to talk about it. Mr. Gaurav is a DGM Havels, and 15 plus years experience in digital power conversion and remote monitoring. So I'm very excited to hear about remote monitoring. We all hear this topic every time. How we do in Havels, because Havel is a fast-moving product. And you need to really come into that. The market very fast. Okay, so. Then we have Mr. Balaji Balakrishnan. Okay, so Balaji is a sales leader in Quest Global, and 20 plus years experience in digital manufacturing, in software systems, mixed with a lot of customer interactions, etc. So welcome, Mr. Balaji. We have Dr. Bade Sinha, and the senior DGM from Murugappa Group. Thank you once again. Because Bade, we thought he will not be coming in spite of his busy schedules. He made it to the morning. I'm very happy about it. Thanks for coming in. So once again, I welcome everybody, and we look forward for a great discussion today. And in the interest of time, what we thought is that on the topics of predictive analytics and legacy infrastructure, we'll go one round of experience we have with our team here actually, and based on that we get introduced. Then let us go into the challenges, the implementation plans, or the different experiences. Then our Q&A sessions. Am I fine, or is there anything you expect from the team here?
I think it's good.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So I'll leave it to the team to share the experience on this topic and different areas they're into. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. As introduced me, I am Siddhalinga Murthy. I am from Saint Gobain. I am taking care of digital manufacturing. Our journey started in 2017 in the month of January. In that journey, we have taken up many digital verticals like IoT, and a lot of energy monitoring and management systems introduced now. And earlier, only the monitoring was the stage. Now we are controlling it by managing it, by linking the production data and deriving the KPIs in the system itself, and real-time projecting the KPIs in the shop floor itself. It will drive the efficiency, operational efficiency in the shop floor. So that basic knowledge about the importance of those things will be taken care in the shop floor level itself. So that is the journey we started. And apart from that, we have taken up some mobility applications using capturing the anomalies on the shop floor, and we have taken up some project like conditioning monitoring system using some vibration sensor attached to the rotary equipment. We started with the monitoring of a rotary equipment so far, and more than 50 sensor and attached with the equipment, and we have started recording the data. So next level is to making meaningful out of that the raw data which is taken from the sensor. So that is the next level. We are working on it now. And apart from that, automated identification like RFID technology, using RFID, tracking some pallets, tracking the turnaround of a vehicle, and using some GPS turnaround of vehicle from plant to the customer end and coming back to the customer under the plant. So all those things we have started already. So in the journey, so major advantage what we have got it is from the IoT. So I have one 30-minute session on the use cases of the IoT, how we are using the IoT to enhance the OEE of a work centers. It's about my experience.
Hi, I'm Gaurav. I'm coming from a company Havels, but as Satish already introduced that, Sathish already introduced that being in Havels, we are producing these smart elements, which is the building blocks to bigger IoT platform. And as a so many large-scale factory owner, we are also a consumer of those smart elements. So there's a both part of it in the organization, and driving this IoT for industry and smart city. Given me opportunity to understand how we are going about, and which today possibly I will share as much in a given time. So in the initial stage, all the smart elements of the factory or IoT world, all smart devices started coming into the picture. And most of the smart applications and different smart device manufacturers are still trying to make a standalone smart ecosystem of their own. Like occupancy sensor, who's built for lighting or who's built for AC. And they're controlling it. So it's just a smart control system, data are coming in, and it is controlling a one smart element of the whole ecosystem. So now when we started putting it together on our factories and the cities, smart cities, how we build it together is right now it's a bigger challenge, like how we share these data together. The one data from a one application can provide an insight to other guy. And we put it together to the Industry 4.0 or smart factory atmosphere, that all these data when put together, that asset tracking or tools life tracking, like there are trackers coming in where tools life, how many number of operations are popping up from this smart monitoring system. And based on the occupancy, if you can run your HVAC or exhaust system, so that how you can predict all these things. All this data when you put together, the most important that predictive analysis, the MI now, Madhusudana introduced very well. On the edge, if we can process this data and on the spot we can react to it and take a control, that will be the real use case of the IoT. Collecting those data was the first stage, but implementing the action on it by a deeper learning, the deep machine learning and AI today can give you insight that what best optimal next action we can do to optimize our overall factory efficiency. So the factory efficiency will depend on our machine utilization, predictive maintenance, supply chain, people in the factory, how to improve their output, and when we apply and observe the result and keep tuning it and understanding for the better perspective. So we started both the part as our new factory coming up for refrigerator and air conditioning plant. We are implementing our own all the discrete solutions together and putting it on an edge. They talk to each other and then create a bigger ecosystem as our own platform first. And the same thing, then we will take it to the market, like how everybody can bring work together as an ecosystem. IoT is not about a standalone solution, but everybody is offering. Then it is only a smart device, smart element. When we put it together and do work together is going to be the IoT real sense.
Exactly. Thanks. I think that is a great topic he mentioned, because nowadays we see a lot of platforms in the market, lot of standalone. Every company is really confused. They have budget. I think around 50% companies are confused what to select. Okay. So let us. It has to be integrated with the other system. That's most important. I remember some customers asking us, "Hey, I have already invested in SAP system. Can it integrate?" That's a basic question. But they are worried whether they need to spend the 50 billion. Because whether I implement this and finally it is not integrating. Okay. Okay. Thanks. So I will leave it to Mr. Madhusudan. Yeah, please. Yeah.
So, I mean, I already spoke about predictive analytics quite a lot, but most of you probably are looking at it from a standpoint of experience as to how I should approach this. And I think you gave a great segue there, and he also talked about it in terms of how do I think about my enterprise architecture, how do I think about my applications, integration points, and how do I therefore get to this eventual world of predictive analytics, machine learning, AI, and all that, right? So let's step back and think about it today. Remember, technology moves at an extremely high velocity, right? It is never about is there innovation out there in the market. It is about our ability to absorb that innovation, right? Right now, the velocity in which it's moving is very fast. Our challenge is, okay, now that innovation is out there, how do I absorb it, right? There was earlier today, there was a question on the Gartner hype cycle and what it means on IoT. I'll be very happy to describe that in a much better manner later on. Yeah. Whoever asked that question, I'll be very happy to do that later. What they actually mean by that hype cycle and the point where it is. But coming to that, right? Today, if you want to build anything, the way your enterprise architecture traditionally has been built is that you will couple what I call compute and storage together. You take any database today, you take any application today, your application, your data environment, and the data itself are all very tightly coupled. They're all related to one another. Yeah. Now that is the reason we have this underlying challenge of how do we integrate between applications. And remember, that part of your architecture is going to stay that way. Nobody's going to go ahead and redo your ERP platform or your core CRM platform that you've built over the last 15 years. You're not going to go rewrite it anyway. That's going to be there. But the part is when you're looking at doing predictive analytics, etc., you can take that data that's in those systems and start looking at how do I separate out my data from the compute infrastructure. Okay. It should, and it is possible, right? I mean, first thing you need to move to what I call open formats. I mean, something as simple as a comma separated file is an open format. Many of us think comma separated files or JSON files or XML files are hard. It's not. Today it is possible for you to process about 25 gigabytes of data every 100 milliseconds on trivial hardware. On a home desktop PC, by the way. 25 gigabytes of data. You can move that kind of data. It is not a CPU, it is not a RAM problem, it's your IO bus problem.